أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum and welcome to myQuranSheikh.com. So this is the 22nd lecture in our series of learning Noorani Qaida, and today we'll be starting Takhti number 10, which is all about Sukoon. So this is a new concept which we are talking about. So before jumping into the Takhti, I'll be talking about what this concept is and how to apply it. Alright. So Sukoon is basically absence of vowel in a word. Alright, so previously we learned short vowels and long vowels, but whenever we want to pronounce a word without a vowel, we place this haraka on top of it, and that is denoting that we'll be doing a sukoon on this particular letter. Alright, and which is the absence of vowel basically, so we'll be pronouncing it as a consonant. Alright, so like let's say in case of a ta, we'll only be pronouncing sound. In case of a ha, sound. Th, r, z. Alright, so as you can see, I'm just pronouncing the consonant sound of these particular letters, and I'm not extending them enough, or I'm not pronouncing a short vowel sound in any of those. Alright, so this was the basic concept of what a sukoon is. But while we're learning about sukoon, there are a few concepts that are associated with it. One is, or the top one is, Qalqala. Alright, so as I talked about, that in a sukoon I'll only be pronouncing the consonant sound of a particular word. For example, in this case I'll be pronouncing Hamza Fatha Ta At, Hamza Kasra Ta It, Hamza Dhamma Ta Ut. Alright, but there are certain words in which it's kind of impossible to pronounce that consonant sound without hiding a few of the characteristics or some of the characteristics of that particular letter. And these are the 5 letters that we'll be talking about in general. These are Ba, Jim, Dal, Ta, and Qaf. More commonly, these are pronounced as, or these are remembered as Qutbu Jadda, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. This just serves as like a tip or technique to remember these letters more easily. And we do a Qalqala on these letters. Alright, so what a Qalqala is, we let some of the air out when we are pronouncing a sukoon on those letters. In comparison, let's say when I pronounced ta, I said at, but when I'll be pronouncing a qalqala letter with a sukoon, I'll be echoing it a little bit. In English, these are also called as echoing letters. In Arabic, we call them qalqala letters. Ab, ib. Alright, so I'm letting this air out after pronouncing the sound of that particular word. Similarly, in case of jim, aj. Alright. So this was the first concept, which is Qalqala. And just to summarize, Qalqala is when we let the air out after pronouncing a consonant on few of the letters. These are the 5 letters: Qutbu, Jadda, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. We do a Qalqala on this. In English, these are called echoing sound, because when we let the air out on these particular letters, an echo sound is generated. Ab, ib. Alright. So moving on to the next one, which is Ikhfa. This is something, ikhfa, izhar, iqlab, idgham, all of the rules that we previously learned with tanween. These rules are applied as is to the noon sukoon or noon sakin as well. Alright, so whatever we learned when we learned the tanween sound, which was like the in sound, or the noon sound when we were denoting them with a double fatha, double kasra, or a double dhamma. Alright, so it's like that sound was similar to a noon sound. So similarly, when we have a sukoon on noon, which has exactly the same sound as a tanween, we'll be applying all of the tanween rules, which are ikhfa, izhar, iqlab, and idgham, on those places as well. And in that extent, this takhti always seems a little bit incomplete to me, because it does not really cover the noon ikhfa rules in practice, or a couple of like the qalqala letters ta and qaf. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next lecture. We'll be practicing those sakin sounds.